Good morning, CUMC. This is Rolene with your children's message. This story is for the young and the young at heart. Today we will be talking about trust in God. It is so important to have trust in God. Every single day, every decision we make, we need to trust in His Word. We need to make sure that we're trusting that the right things will happen if we follow His commandments and do the right thing. Today's story is about a man named Noah who definitely trusted in God, and he was blessed because of that. Long ago in the biblical days, Noah followed God's rules. He followed His commandments, and even though everyone around him was doing the wrong thing, stealing, lying, cheating, and breaking God's commandments, Noah stayed true to God's words, and he did not break the commandments. God rewarded him. He said to him, "Noah, your family and you have followed my commandments, and I am pleased. But the world around you is not following my word." So God told Noah to build an ark, a huge boat that would save those who believed in God. Noah tried his best. He told everyone he knew, God is not pleased with us. As a world, we have to do better, and I'm going to build this ark. It will save us from a huge flood. He told them that it would rain for 40 days and 40 nights. And you know what? Everyone laughed at him. They did not believe him. They kept lying and cheating and stealing and not following God's commandments. They did not believe Noah. They didn't believe him. So when the ark was finished and it was time to get into the ark, Noah's family safely went inside the ark, and 2 of each animal on earth also lined up and were gathered into the ark. They were nice and safe. And just as God promised, it rained for 40 days and for 40 nights. The rain poured down without stopping. Water came up out of the earth, and the boat, as the water came down and it was deeper and deeper, the boat lifted and was safe above the water. It was floating high above the ground. And finally, the mighty flood was so deep that even the tops of mountaintops were covered. Nothing survived. Nothing was left alive except for Noah, his family, and the animals that he put on that ark. They trusted and obeyed God, and they were blessed because of that. And God was pleased again. He blessed Noah and his family for their obedience. God promised to never destroy the earth with a flood again. And He placed a rainbow with magnificent colors in the sky as a sign of that promise. And God said to Noah and his sons, "The rainbow that I have put in the sky will be my sign to you and to every living creature on earth. It will remind you that I will keep this promise forever. When I send clouds over the earth and a rainbow appears in the sky, I will remember my promise to you and to all other living creatures. Never again will I let floodwaters destroy all life. When I see the rainbow in the sky, I will always remember the promise I have made to every living creature. The rainbow will be a sign of that solemn promise." And that's from Genesis 6:5 through 9:17. God does not break promises, and He promises us that if we follow His word and do the right thing, treat others with kindness, that we will be blessed for our obedience. It's hard sometimes when things are rough. I know in the pandemic, I really missed my friends, and I know a lot of you out there missed your friends too, and being around them all the time, and things were shut down. It was a sad time, I think, for the whole world. But God never breaks His promises. Even in that storm, that dark time of not being able to be out in the world as much, we got to spend time with our family who maybe we wouldn't have spent as much time with at home. So that was one of the rainbows even though it was tough in the pandemic. And things will come that seem so terrible at first. Maybe a friend hurts your feelings, or, maybe you get a bad grade at school. But even in those storms, God will always send a rainbow. Maybe you weren't supposed to be friends with that person because they were going to hurt you. That's why grown-ups sometimes say a blessing in disguise. Maybe you got a bad grade to kind of get you shaped up to do better in school and study harder. And as grown-ups, sometimes we don't get the job we want, or, sometimes things don't work out on the grown-up end, but there's always a blessing and there's a lesson, even though things seem tough at first. So just trust in God and make sure that we are leaning on His promises, following His commandments, and giving it all to God, and knowing that He will always give us a rainbow and He will always show us that He loves us. I want you guys to take that trust in your heart, take it on to next week, and have a great week.